Good morning, colleagues. Can I check? We're not supposed to start at past.
Yes. Good morning, honorable member. We were supposed to start at past.
Good morning. Hey, Manana, since when are you a chairperson?
No, I was worried. That my volume might be off because I can't hear anyone speaking.
Ungajahi, usalimala.
How are you?
Good morning, honorable members.
Good morning, Chair.
Morning,
Yeah,
Chair. I was waiting to hear from honorable members that they are ready to start.
Recording in progress.
Yes, well,
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. Chair, we do have a quorum. We may start if you are ready. Thanks.
honorable members, Cynthia, do we have a quorum now?
Yes, Chair, we do have a quorum. We may start. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, honorable members. We have a very bad weather here in KZN. It's raining so hard, and I may have some challenges with connectivity and network because of the weather. But may I please welcome all of you, honorable members. We have this meeting to deal with just two items, one being the consideration and adoption of the minutes of the previous meetings, and the second item being the consideration and adoption of our second term program. I will be guided by the committee secretary in terms of the dates of the minutes that we are actually going to be considering. Can we then adopt the agenda as I have just presented?
I move
Honorable.
for the adoption of the agenda, Honorable Chairman.
Well, thanks a lot, Honorable. I think it's Honorable Nana. Thank you. Who is the seconder? Honorable members, I don't see the hand of a seconder for the motion for the adoption of this of the agenda. Honorable members, am I still audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, Chair, you are audible.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Can I ask you, Cynthia, to actually give us the date of the minutes that we are now going to be considering? It's just that I don't have the copies here, but they are in the cell phone itself. I'm scared to tamper with it too much, otherwise I'm going to lose connection. Cynthia.
Yes, Chair. We have the minutes of the 21st of February, which is our first sets that you're going to consider and adopt. And the next one is for the 19th of March.
Okay, let us actually just deal with them seriatim. Let us start with the ones for the 21st of February, and just hope that members have had time to go through them. And can we actually ask members look at the corrections if there are any? Honorable members, you will be, if you are able to raise your hand, please do so. If not, just you know, get in and I will identify you. Are there any corrections on the set of minutes for the 21st of February? Honorable members. Honorable members.
I think we are still going through, Chair.
Oh, okay.
Chair,
Yes.
maybe we can do the apologies in the meantime because we didn't do apologies.
Oh, we didn't do the apologies. Sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah.
I have
Did you?
apologies. Yes, Chair, I have apologies from Honorable Lucas and Honorable Madikizela. They attending a SADC meeting in Joburg, and also an apology from Honorable I'll come back, Chair. I forgot which other one. I'm still checking my notes.
So we have Honorable Matikisela and Honorable
I think it's on Chairperson, I think it's Honorable Adams.
Honorable Adams as well.
Yes, Chair. That's Honorable Adams, the other one, Chair. She's also attending a meeting. Thanks.
Okay.
Hello, Chair.
Yes, yes.
I just want to check with our committee secretary whether did she double check whether Honorable Matikizela is really attending that meeting or is somewhere in the Middle East.
Honorable Matthias, that's political mischief. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Chairperson, may I rise on a point of order?
Yes.
Is it parliamentary for an honorable member to cast aspersions and doubts on another member?
Chair.
Yes.
Chair, I'm worried here on the minutes. I'm checking all the minutes on the attendance by committee members. Honorable Madala, always there's a blank space where in a political part. I'm representing Umkondo Wesizwe. I don't know whether whose scribe is undermining my party here because there's a blank. All my minutes, there's no in the political party. I'm representing an official opposition, Umkondo Wesizwe.
Are you sure?
My apologies, honorable member.
All the minutes, it's a blank, it's blank. I don't know whether I'm representing which part now.
Well, I think it's just an omission which should be corrected. I hope that Cynthia is actually taking note of that.
Chair,
because even if you were representing a progressive caucus, you would need to be indicated as a member of the caucus.
Thank you, Chair. I'll correct it. I wrote all three of the members for the MK party and just wrote one line of MK party. But going forward, I'll write next to each name MK party. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, okay. No, thank you.
But Chair, but as it stands, honorable members, it's so as you can see, there's a block of names and one block, which is like, okay, for MKP, it's 2 members. That block is a long block with just a political party for the 2 members. But it seems members want to see an MP name and a name, MP name and a political party. But what we have been doing was to say all 2 members are linked to a one. And even if you can look at the Democratic Alliance or ANC, it's 4 members, that's big block with 1 political party. Thanks.
Sorry, Chair. If you can check here, can we check? Yeah, there is an African National Congress. It's accurate, and there's a Democratic Alliance. It's accurate, and then if you see there is an Umkhonto Wesizwe is a 1 member. It's Andile Mqedam, and Mr. Madlala. If anyone is looking this minute, Mr. Madlala, we don't know whether he's representing EFF at the bottom or is representing Umkhonto Wesizwe at the top. There is a line that is separated Mr. Madlala from Umkhonto Wesizwe.
Well, my disadvantage is that I actually am not looking at the copy of the minutes, but I just hope that note is being taken of what you are actually expressing, because it's not difficult to correct that. If the member actually so wishes that just next to his name, the name of his party should be indicated. So be it.
Yes, noted, Chair. We'll do that. Thanks.
Thank you. You were actually showing the actual copy of the minutes. It has just disappeared. I don't know whether it has disappeared from from this side, or it's just not there. Oh yeah, there it is. What page are we looking at right now? Honorable members, are we all on the last page?
Chair, to facilitate this. Chair, may I propose that perhaps we say page 1, page 2, page 3,
yes,
so we can quickly move.
Yeah, no, if we were to do so, then that would be fine. Yeah, I can see now what Mr. Madlala was complaining about, but I'm seeing that there are two columns from Honorable Mkitama and Honorable Madlala, and then one space for the name of the political party, which is Umkhonto weSizwe. But if he wants us to actually put another block, well, I don't know, but it will actually be Umkhonto weSizwe being mentioned twice for
Chair,
the
it's
two
corrected.
members.
It's corrected
Oh,
now.
has been
That's
corrected
what
now.
corrected
Okay.
now.
Okay.
There
All
was
right.
a line
Oh.
that Madlala is representing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. No, thank you. Can we move on to the next page?
No, Chairperson.
Yes.
Yeah, my party is United African Transformation. If it doesn't unite, then it is not it. There's no united there.
Okay, Honorable Matlas.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's being corrected. Thank you. Then can we move on to the next page? Are there any corrections on page 2? Honorable members, it is also important to look not only at the spelling and the grammar and so on, but to look at the content as well. So that minutes should not say things that we did not discuss or we did not say, because that would actually be a problem, because they serve as a record of the deliberations of that particular meeting. Okay, can you move on to the next page? Thank you. That's the last page. Well, is there a proposer for the adoption of this set of minutes?
Chairperson, I move for adoption of the minutes.
Is that Honorable Dalani?
Yes.
Is there any seconder? Any seconder?
Nanas is seconding, Chairman.
Oh, thank you so much. Our next set of minutes for the 19th. There's page 1. Page 2. Excuse me. Page 3. Page 4. If this. Page 5. Well, in the absence of any corrections, can there be a mover for the adoption of these minutes?
I move for the adoption of the minutes, Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Nana. Is there a seconder? Any seconder?
I second the minutes.
Well, thank you, Honorable Ndalane. Can we move on to another set if there is any? Thank you. We're now looking at the minutes of the meeting of the 26th of March, 2025. The first page. Okay, the attendance correctly listed. Okay, page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Thank you. That's the last page. Are there any corrections, honorable members? If none, then can there be a proposer for the adoption of the minutes?
Did Nana move for the adoption, Chairman?
Thank you, Honorable Nana. Any seconder?
I second.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Dalane. Can we move on to another set? Cynthia, do we still have another set of minutes? Oh, thank you. Is it still coming?
Yes, Chair, I'm trying to load it. I'm struggling with this one. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, there you are. Thank you. We have page 1 of the minutes of the meeting held on the 2nd of April. Attendance as listed. The page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Thank you. Are there any corrections, honorable members? If not,
Chair.
yes.
Yeah, I see that it is saying Honorable Mkletama apologized on that day. So doesn't it reflect who was substituting him? Or it doesn't have to reflect? It's taken as there was one member, there was no one from MK on that day.
Yeah, I think I remember on that day that I think the report was that there was a is it on the same day when the MK had an emergency caucus meeting?
Yeah, but we were present because it's noted there as Putam apologized, but I think we even attended on that day. Okay, yes, okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay, yes, it's noted. I wanted to check that. I didn't
Okay.
see that part, but it's okay. I think it's okay now.
All right, no thanks. Yeah, any other corrections? Okay. I thought Nyambos was going to also propose the adoption of the minutes.
Bengilungisa lokho baba bakhona abazo don't.
Chairman, I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Nana. Any seconder? Is Honorable Matthias's hand up? Any seconder, honorable members? Any seconder, honorable members?
Amundalani will look his second.
Who else is there? Honorable Dalane, are you there? Are you having your hand up?
Hello, Chairperson.
Yes, Honorable Dalane?
I move for adoption.
Yes, you are seconding Honorable Dalane
I'm
because
yes, I'm seconding.
thank you. Thank you. Can we move on to another set if there is still any?
The minutes, we've done all of them, Chair. It's only the second term draft program of the committee.
Oh, okay. So we have dealt with all the minutes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, honorable members. Now, can we move on to the consideration of our second term program? I would request that when it is loaded, you move slowly so that members can actually look at the program properly and be able to internalize it and raise issues if they want to. Thank you.
Okay, Chair.
Honorable members, it's there. Maybe Cynthia, you could present it for us. This is the second term program for our committee.
Can I request Dr. Maneza to present it, Chair? Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, honorable members. So this is the proposal for the second term. As you can see today, the committee dealt with minutes. So on Wednesday, on the 7th, that's next week, the committee, it is proposed here that it will, is it, the 7th is next week, isn't it? The other week, yeah, not next week.
Yeah,
The committee, yes. the committee will consider strategic plans, you know, the new strategic plans of the department and the annual performance plan. So you will remember that you have a 5-year plan that is informed by the medium-term development goals. And then it's broken into annual plans. So that's what the committee will be briefed on by the minister. It will be a meeting of the Department of Land Reform, Rural Development, because by now the split has taken place. There's an acting DG that has been appointed. And so it will be the department with the entities. The entities under this department is the Commission on Restitution of Land Rights, Office of the Valuer General, and the Ingonyama Trust Board. So according to the plan here is to have a full day meeting. And I know that Cynthia was trying to verify if there is a sitting on that day, and now we are going to deal with that. The next meeting is on the 14th, where the committee will consider a budget vote report. So after the presentation of the APPs and the budget and all that, we will draft a report, which is going to the National Assembly so the committee will have to discuss that report and adopt if found to be a good report. That's in preparation for the budget vote debates. On the same day, the committee will also consider the oversight, the KZN oversight visit report. On the 21st, there is a proposal for a stakeholder engagement on the settlement of labor tenants' claim. So main stakeholders here will be the Special Master of Labor Tenants, the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, and there may be other civil society organizations that have an interest, for instance, AFRA in KwaZulu-Natal, and that will be invited just to take a reflection. Remember, the idea here, remember that in this case, we have courts overseeing the department, which is a very much an unusual, thing to have another sort of arm here. Or normally oversight is by Parliament, but because of the failure of the department, and I guess also sort of lack of confidence in parliamentary oversight, the court stepped in and said it will set up an office of the Special Master to monitor, to oversee the department. So that is some kind of an assessment on that work. Has it helped? When that term is coming to an end, what's going to happen? The next meeting is on the 28th of May, which is a Wednesday again. The proposal here is to have a discussion on restitution land claims, but here the particular focus will be claims specifically on forests and on the forestry land and the national parks. A key one would think of the many claims on Kruger National Park or any other national parks in the country, the model of settlement of those claims, and how far have we gone as a country. So it's more of an oversight meeting to understand what the commission has been doing about this. On the 11th, the committee here, we propose that it focuses its attention on Zwelabantu CPA in KZN. What has, just to find out what has been done and, going forward. On that meeting, there were a whole lot of things that were left hanging. I guess it's a sort of a way to begin to have a discussion, but we always call her Mahadebe. Cynthia will remind me what's her name, the lady from the Eastern KZN, but whose tenure issues were in Eastern Cape, the lady that briefed the committee on the last meeting with the board in KZN. So the idea is to get the department from the national office in Pretoria and Eastern Cape to come and brief the committee about those the statements and some allegations that were made. On the 18th of June, the proposal here is to deal with the equitable access to land bill and the communal land tenure bill. It's a progress report on legislation. Why is this important? It's important because, as honorable members know, there is a court process going on challenging Parliament, that Parliament is not doing its job. And this is not to say we are pushing it because there is a court or processes going on, but it's something that even the previous committee has kept the department accountable in terms of what they are doing with these two special bills. So it's a progress report. The last engagement on this, there was also an issue that the department wasn't even giving the proposals, not presenting the legislation, but the proposals at a high level, what the issues are. I guess this is presentation of sort of the problem statement and how these pieces of legislation will be addressing the issues. So that's the date for where we're going to be dealing with those issues. The last week of June, 23 to 27, there is a proposal for the committee. So that week, in terms of the current parliamentary program, it's oversight week. Now, there are two things here we're proposing to do. That in the same week, the committee take 2 days to have a strategic planning session. And 3 days, the oversight visit to Limpopo. I think members will remember one of the cases that members discussed was that case of Zebediela, with all what's happening there. So it's one of the cases. The idea, the proposal which we are working on is to say members can meet in Johannesburg, 2 days of a strategic, very intense, full day discussion on the strategic direction of the work of the committee, and then proceed for a 3 days oversight visit in Limpopo. So all these will also be subject to the approval by the Office of the House Chairperson. That's the proposal, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Honorable members, I would actually request that we scroll back to page 1 so that if members have issues to raise, then they can actually do so. Honorable members, on the first page, are there any inputs that members would like to make?
Chairman?
Yes.
I may not be able to comment page by page, but please allow me to make a couple of points.
Okay.
The first one is I would really want to raise an issue, Chairman, with regards to a congestion of our program on a daily during our committee meetings. I mean, for a couple of meetings now, previous meetings, we either are unable to complete our work on the day, or by the time we get to the tail end of proceedings, were pretty much in a rush. So really my proposal is that, look, we still have got 4 more years to go, and we don't have quite a lot of entities under land reform and rural development. So my proposal would be that at the very maximum, we must entertain 2 presentations in a meeting. I would actually even say we should consider entertaining 1 entity or 1 presentation in a portfolio committee meeting so that we can have ample time to engage and give an entity or whoever will be coming to present ample time to present. I mean, these guys take a long time and effort in preparing a presentation for us, and the chairperson will be saying you only have got 10 minutes to present, which sometimes, is really unfair on people that could have traveled from as far as Joburg, Pretoria, to come and appear before the committee, and they're given 10 minutes because of the congestion of our program. So, and I can already see in this program, Doc, that what I am talking about is already there. I mean, well, you take the meeting of the 7th, for instance. There is about how many? Three, 4 presentations. So I really would advise against this. That's the first point. The second point, Chairperson, which I would want to bring to the attention of the committee. The minister made an undertaking in our previous meeting that he was the following week meeting with the Hawks in relation to corruption in the Department of Land Reform and Rural Development. Now, we all agree in the committee, or should I say, the majority of us in the committee do agree that one of the difficulties that plagues the land reform program is corruption and malfeasance. Now, I would want to propose that we should find a slot for the minister to come and brief the committee about steps that his department is taking in order to prevent and fight corruption, particularly in the land restoration program. And what were the outcomes, without him giving us too much detail, but what were the outcomes of his meeting with the Hawks? Can we expect action? And the third one is on oversight, strat plan and oversight. I am looking forward to the professional staff presenting a concise program for that week, including travel plans and travel possibilities. Because as I can say it from where I'm seated, it will be just like all other, particularly the Mpumalanga oversight, which was quite a nightmare to most members. And I would really want to caution against that. As I said, we've got 4 years to go. I know we need to have our strat plan as the committee, but we also need to conduct oversight. There is absolutely no need for us to try and squash a strat plan and accommodate oversight. If we need to give more time and days in our strat plan, so be it. And we forfeit oversight. There will be another oversight. We can then go to Mpumalanga, have a 4-day stay in Mpumalanga in the manner in which we have done in KZN and Mpumalanga, in KZN and Mpumalanga. when we're going to Limpopo, and not try and squash an oversight in Mpumalanga over 2 days. It's not going to work. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you for that input. Honorable members, the program is on the table for discussion. Honorable Nyambose, I recognize your hand.
Yes, Chair. Can I speak?
Yes, you are on the floor.
Okay. Thanks, Chair. I think mine is not material substance on the program as it stands, but I'm seeing concurrent functions or an overlapping of multiple departments that are touching issues of land, yet those sectoral issues are handled in other departments. So I'm imagining a situation I've noted the departments where we share concurrent function. One, COGTA, the Department of Cooperative Government and Traditional Affairs. When we talk about Amakosi at COGTA, we are limited to speak on issues of land because issues of land are discussed in this portfolio committee. And yet you find Amakosi having issues of their jurisdiction and land then outstanding, not being attended to at COGTA because they are directed to this portfolio committee. So which means we need to do something on at least even periodically where we share notes or we have joint gatherings, especially when we do strategy, that we do hear what is the strategy from COGTA because there is an overlapping function. Going ahead also to agriculture, you have an agricultural program that touches the land in the land of Amakosi, and you find you are not able to talk freely because if the matter touches agriculture, you are told Department of Agriculture is handling that, yet the matter, it is touching the land where agriculture is taking place. Further on, the issue of minerals and energy. In Richards Bay, we have a meeting of Amakosi, about 3, if not 4 of them, being taken to court by a mining house over their land issues, where the mining company is mining on their land. But those issues, they are now touching minerals and energy on the land of Amakosi, which Amakosi are regulated at COGTA. And which means that issue will end up not being ventilated anywhere because you need a joint sitting of all the affected departments because you can't freely talk. Same applies with human settlement. You have CPA issues that are discussed at land affairs, but you find that their nature takes a form of a human settlement, but in a land where the king has a jurisdiction. So which means now you have to tread carefully on how to discuss a matter because you are told that's a human settlement matter. These are parallel, concurrent, overlapping functions that I see, but I don't know how in our year program or quarter program, at least we factor in even on quarterly basis since we do our programming on quarter basis, but at least there has to be a quarter where at least we hear or we get to meet with the other portfolios just so that these issues that are flagged in those portfolio committees and which we are also flagging, we may not be found to be silent on a matter that affects our stakeholder, but we can't talk about it because it is talked about in another portfolio. But when you get to that portfolio, you find that matter is also not being talked about because it is emanating from another portfolio. So I don't know how we can synchronize our programming that it address that matter. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nyambose. Yeah, you are raising a very important issue of the coordination and Yeah. In fact, it should, in my view, be a matter that actually should start at the departmental level. There should be that interdepartmental, the link up or interaction, so that they actually know those issues that they are dealing with, and they are able to process them and actually, classify them and actually channel them properly so that they get attended to. Yeah, I've actually come across a matter like that, especially coming from the Eastern Cape, where someone was actually talking about land, which has to do with the activity of the Department of Agriculture, but actually wants us to also get involved. So I don't know how we can deal with that, but it's before it's on the table. Honorable members may actually make inputs on how we can actually deal with such matters of overlap. Honorable members, are there still any other takers? Honorable members, I hope our secretariat actually took note of the contributions made by honorable members. One about the congestion of issues on our agenda, and also the possibility of the inter-committee kind of interaction to deal with matters that actually overlap into other committees and other departments. Honorable members, is there?
Yes, Chairperson.
Yes.
I wanted to make a proposal, particularly first on the congestion of the program. I totally agree with honorable members. One of the things that we find that is a constraint sometimes is the parliamentary program. For instance, now this vote, it's going to be debated. The budget vote is going to be debated. I'm not too sure. I think it's around the 22nd. And that means that this committee must have been briefed by the department, and all the entities must have drafted the report and adopted it. So sometimes we do not have sufficient time, so we are forced to squeeze. But I also agree that in the past, it wasn't about any parliamentary program. Sometimes it's just an issue where you anticipate that there might not be discussions, and then there's just this discussion. So but if you look on the 7th, we are proposing a meeting from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. But like I said, what we are looking at is the parliamentary program for the day. Is there a house sitting? And if there is a house sitting, we propose that we schedule another meeting on Friday. So we can take 2 departments and 1 entity, and then on Friday we take another entity. What it means is that there has to be a special application. So we meet 2 times, because if we do not do that and say we will meet the next week, what we are making it difficult for the committee again, because when will the committee deliberate on the report? because our report should be tabled, if I'm not mistaken, Cynthia, 3 days before the debate. So the idea was that if we consider it on the 14th, then the same day or the second day, we can actually publish it. So the rule about 3 days before the debate will be met. So that's one. That we will take care of it by trying to unpack it. If we are not meeting a full day meeting, we are going to apply for a special meeting on a Friday. That's a proposal. On the question around, I missed some of the input from Honorable Mteto, but I agree with the principle that if you look at land reform and rural development, it's the mandate sometimes make overlaps with other portfolios. But I think it's important for the committee to also know what its mandate is. For instance, if you talk about issues of a land that is under Amakosi, in terms of tenure issues, COGTA is not responsible for land tenure. It is this portfolio. So how people's tenure rights are secured, it is not the domain of COGTA. So that's why you have this informal land tenure right protection under this department. It doesn't mean that Amakosis do not have a role to play. That's why in some instances where, Amakosi dispossess people of their tenure rights, it is under this portfolio that the Minister of Land intervenes, or this department, and not COGTA, is taken to court that it is not protecting people's tenure rights. And we have seen, if members remember, when we were in KZN, the MEC highlighted the challenge around the issuing of the MEC for COGTA, that it is the Minister of Land that issues the PTOs. And that right was no longer in KZN, but it was taken by the minister to a national, but there were discussions to again delegate that function. So it has to do with powers and functions and what the Constitution say about land matters, whose competency it is. But there is this overlap. So my proposal here is that, and we're talking about this in the absence of a proper land tenure policy. So it's a challenge. It has been a challenge throughout the year. So I suggest that this be a matter that is taken forward for thorough discussion at the strategic planning session. Because my advice for this committee would be, this committee must be must be cautious, must be careful not to leave its mandate and do what other departments should be doing. We've seen that in rural development, members here have been critiquing and say, why is this department doing all these other things that are done by other departments? So this committee's mandate is land reform, which includes tenure, restitution, and no any other department can do that. It's rural development where it's coordinated. All these Amakosi municipalities, everyone work on the land, but who secures tenure is under this portfolio. So I suggest, and if you also look at that case of Gwaju, where this department is leasing land, but again, there's a traditional council that says, no, but we are the rightful owners here, and COGTA seems to be allocating a traditional council, and nobody knows on what piece of land they have, farm dwellers was on the land, and we're saying, but if you do that, you are taking over. You are actually dispossessing us of our rights. So it's a complex matter. I propose that goes for a strategy of this committee and how members would like to deal with those the issues. Yeah, but we will adjust. So the question of oversight and strategic planning, what the proposal I had from Honorable Nana is that let's do one thing. We can't do both. If we are doing strat plan, let's do strat plan. If we are doing oversight, let's just do oversight. And if we go for strat planning only, that's okay. It just means that there won't be any oversight visit perhaps until, in terms of the parliamentary program, maybe until November or any other day. So it's the decision of the committee. And if we don't do strategic planning now and do oversight, it may mean that we will not be able to do strategic planning unless members say, no, we can do it over the weekend. Yeah, but we will have to look at that. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I have my hand up.
Honorable Nyambe, so sorry, I was muted. You have the floor.
Okay. Thanks, Chair. I wanted just to chip in right where Dr. is actually speaking about. I have a case in point which is reflecting this thing. I said yesterday at Cocktown, the fact that Amakosi are residing in a land where they are residing doesn't mean they are happy with the land where they are sitting on. Why? Because they were forcibly removed from their original land to be settled where they are currently, meaning there are claims issues by even the sitting kings that are recognized by the state. And those issues does not get ventilated at Cocktown because those matters are sitting with land reform. As a result, now the kings are limited in their own portfolio committee to speak about issues of land, because they are expected just to talk about issues of them being kings and they are being recognized. But there is a deeper issue of their domain. And two, in Newcastle, in Wycombe, we have Inkosi Ukubheka, who is in Ward 1, along N11. Then you have a municipality, which is Newcastle. Then you've got Mr. Oosthuizen Unida, the rich man who controls everything in Newcastle. There are people that he's been charging rent for residing on a land which he claims it is his. And then there is Inkosi Ukubheka, who is the jurisdictional owner of the same land. You have the municipality also, which is expected to render services in the same land. As a result, this community is saying for 30 years, we've been underserviced because we don't know to whom we belong. And that's a case in point of a confusion created by systems and structures and configuration of our department. It is against that background then that I'm saying we need to meet at a higher level, at strat planning level, wherein the issue of configuration of department and powers and function can be attended to. Furthermore, at COCTA, we are reviewing the traditional leaders framework. We are reviewing the constitutional mandate wherein Amakosi are not addressed in terms of their powers, according to Chapter 7 of the Constitution, which only gives those powers to municipalities. But in terms of location, the municipality is located on a land of a king, but the only rule is that of a municipal function recognized by the Constitution, and Inkosi is not reflected on the Constitution in terms of powers, in terms of decision-making, in terms of service delivery. Why? Because he's relegated by the very laws we are talking about. So once the review is done at COCTA, it's gonna overlap at land affairs portfolio, wherein the issue of land might then be viewed differently once a king is restored his jurisdictional powers and powers according to the Constitution and the traditional leaders framework. It is against that background I'm raising this matter, but it's okay. I've heard what Dr. is saying.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Mbose. Any further, inputs?
Chairman,
Yeah, Honorable Nana.
and the last one on my side, members would know that the president decided to split the two departments. This department into two departments, and ever since the announcement and the creation of these two separate departments, as the committee, really we haven't had much from the department about progress insofar as the implementation of the president's decision. So I would also suggest that part course that we may ask the minister to come brief us about should be progress insofar as the implementation of this decision is concerned, the actual establishment of the department as a standalone department. Thank
you. Well, thank you, particularly Honorable Nana, because we were told that by the 31st of March, the process of separating these two departments would have actually been completed. So I'm I'm agreeing with you that I think we are owed a report, a final report on the reconfiguration of these two departments. Thank you.
Chair?
Yes.
May I propose on the issue that Honorable Nana is raising? I propose that be part of discussion on the 7th when we deal with the strategic plan. One of the issues is if we're talking about, because now we are looking at the strategy for the next 5 years for this department. What is it that they'll be doing? So it's I think in my view, it's important to understand the structure now. Who is who? Who's going to be doing what? What are the key programs? What is it that is remaining with this department? What is it that has gone to agriculture? So in a way, I feel like maybe if we do it on the 7th, it also helps members, because one of the things that the presentation will do is to prepare members for the debate on the budget vote. So that type of information, I think it's very important for a broader understanding of the department, and its outlook and what it will be doing over the next 5 years. So you can be able to gauge and say, well, you have this program and your structure, will you be able to do what you are saying you're going to do? And it will be the initial engagement, perhaps. If there are other issues, it's something that can still be taken forward and be discussed at a strategy meeting of the committee. I just feel like it's information that is so urgent for this committee that we integrate it on the 7th when they present the strategic plan. In fact, a strategic plan in AAPP should already show the structure, the organogram to some extent, but also key program areas and their focus and the vision as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you. There is a proposal that this matter be actually incorporated on the agenda for the meeting on the 7th, when we would be doing consideration of strategic plan for the department.
I agree, Chairman. It's a good.
Thank you. Thank you. With those inputs, honorable members, can we now adopt this program with of course with amendments that have actually been proposed?
For sure, Chairman, Honorable Mthethwa will move for the adoption, having contributed so much in amending this program. It's a program.
Yeah, go, Zainab.
I agree with you, Honorable Nana, that with all his input, he was actually preparing for the the proposal for this program to to be adopted. Of course, with his input, which actually has been most welcome, and Honorable Nana can only second the proposal by the Honorable Mthethwa.
I second.
Oh, Chair, I wanted to ask this before adoption and seconding. I didn't get quite clear what the final the decision around oversight and the strategic planning is. What is it that members prefer on the two?
Oh yeah, yeah. With your input, Doc, whilst the suggestions that was actually made by Honorable Nana was really plausible in the sense that, I mean, we have seen what congestions of the congestion of a program actually does. For instance, at our last meeting with the ITB, for instance, I think they were done a raw deal there because they were the last to present and we were both in a hurry, and I'm sure they did not take it very kindly, having prepared and also having traveled and spent money and spent time, and only to be given 20 minutes to actually rush through their presentation. So I take it that but with your input, Doc, it made things even more difficult now because we now have a serious time constraints. If we don't do oversight in June, then the only opening could be around November. Is it good for the committee not to do oversight until towards the end of the year? I'm not too sure. And also the strategic plan. It is important that this committee should actually also, do its own strategic planning exercise, so that we know exactly where we're going. So it's a difficult one, but honorable members, can we actually, brainstorm over that? What are we proposing should be done in the circumstances?
Chairman.
Yes.
So did I hear Doc mentioning weekends?
Yeah.
As a possibility.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Yeah. So what I said is that if the committee can apply, but I know that members are not very keen because of the constituency work. But the committee can apply and say it takes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do the strategic plan. But it depends on the House Chair, if House Chair can give us. But if members, there's nothing stopping the committee to request to do its strategic plan over the weekend. And I think in my years in Parliament, there were times where this particular portfolio or this portfolio had a strategic plan over the weekend. But times are different now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I propose, Chairman, through you, that we consider sacrificing as members at least one weekend and deal with the strategic plan. Thank you.
Yeah, any seconder for that proposal? Because we are not starting anything new. If it actually had been done before, and looking at the reality of the situation where we really are we are working on a very tight rope in terms of time, then it is only rational for us to look at the possibility of using a weekend for our strat plan.
Chair?
Yes.
Chairperson? I'm
yes.
looking at the parliamentary program, which again, I mean, they change. There is a space for, sorry, Cynthia can confirm here, but what I see is NA committees oversight between the 8th and the 12th of September. And again, but on a quarterly basis, this program changes, so it might, and then there is another space. Is in October.
It looks like there's an oversight visit in September and October, but it doesn't happen like that, like in 2 months following. So it could be either. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could change sometime. Yeah, or
it could change because the period in September is very much your BR. In October is very much your BRR period for committees. So the next one that I see, the possible one, is the 2 to 5 December. It says NA committees. That can still be used. I am not sure, Chair. We are complicating it further.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more complicated now. Otherwise, in principle, I think, yes.
Can I suggest that? Yes, I wanted to suggest that we leave it to the secretariat, and then the office will look on the date, if possible. Because weekend it will be difficult for everybody to attend.
Yeah.
So let's leave it to them, and then they will just direct us.
Yeah, Honorable Ndalane, although
Chair, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
A proposal was made that we must find a weekend, and you were calling for a seconder to that proposal. It's a sound proposal. Everything else is complicated. As members, I'm sure we can sacrifice a weekend to sit down and have a strategic planning session. So I am rising to second that, and we move as such, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ketamu. So as to which weekend, we can actually then leave it to the Secretariat, but request that they circulate in good time the proposed weekend that they have in mind, so that honorable members can then begin to readjust their programs to actually for them to be able to be free on that particular weekend to attend our strat plan. Because any other thing, I see it getting more and more complicated. So can we actually leave it at that, honorable members? I take it that there is consensus in that we actually identify a weekend to utilize for our strategic planning workshop. Well, honorable members, in the absence of any other input on the program, can we then propose the adoption? Has it been adopted? I doubt. With amendments, of course. Oh, yes. Oh, the proposal was made by Honorable Mtetwa and seconded by Honorable Nana. Thank you. Having actually come to the end of our discussion, then I would like to declare that the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Doc, can we talk on the sidelines, Doc?
Yes. Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you.
How's Is that a record?
Hi, Tembi. Nzaki, give me recording, please.
Recording stopped.
Kanya no kaya
Kanya, you may leave and goes.
Oh.
PMG.
Oh. No. Hey.
Give me the recording.
Okay.
See people here. Okay, sure. Goes. Ima ukono.
Matthias.
Matthias, you may leave. Thank you. Adimkhulu. Mkhulu penzwakhe. Remove. That's really last. Ima. Oh, kubano pala
Nini kaloku
Streaming.
political committee nini nobabini. Oh, screaming parliament.
Streaming.
Streaming ile yaseparlamente
Iyeke namsebenzi.
asikwazi uyikhupha yona ke.
Iyeke.
Okay. Okay ke. Asikwazi umkhupha.
Asizukwazi.
Okay. Wenzani yena?
Uphumile kanti emeetingini? Yeah.
Ubiziwe kaloku chairperson.
Uthetha no-chair.
Ewe kaloku bengicinga uzawusala apha emeetingini aphinde abuyele kuthi after ethethe no-chair.
Yho.
Hayi benifuna sidiscusse ke le nto, benifuna sithi sivumelane ukuthi sitshintsha njani ngoku iprogram sithini. Ngoku xa engekho
Nalena enantsi nale nto bani bafuna i-weekend.
nale weekend le ye-strat plan. Yho, andidike yile weekend. Yho.
Asizusokoza zii-members zethu kaloo weekend.
Sizawusokolisa bavuma bayavuma.
Ndibizwa yintoni? Ndibizwa ipati yam, ndibizwa yho.
Bazawenza loo nto kakade.
Izawuba yi-issue.
Hayi basawusokolisa unyanisile undala ne-city members azizoba available benyanisile.
Benyanisile kakade. Ngesikhe ngesikhe bakhanselisha sa-oversight sayenza ngoSeptemba qha kakade.
Ewe.
Qha kakade. Siyazi uba senza i-strat plan sike si-add another day ibe yi-3 day strat plan qha.
Ndizakhe istopha nale meeting summary iyabuza sithetha yiphi language.
Hayi sisarekhodwa Ntswaki.
Hayi irekhodi uyicimile.
Hayi boyivelile kum, the meeting is being recorded itsho nje.
Nyani
Ngupalamente masimkhuphe.
Oh.
Uba uyakwazi umkhupha mkhuphi but I don't think siyakwazi.